Listener's discretion is advised.
Hey. Like far too kind people. Like you're all far too kind now. I'm back for the first time in forever. Let's just say, if you haven't seen or listened to the last 2 episodes of Random Stuff, you know that there are some things that are very important, especially during more Trump news that were addressed last night. But now there is one little big emergency that happened, and we will get through it later on. But first, let's get some laughs in, just to get in the stress, especially when Jimmy Fallon breaks in this news from last week's Tonight Show.
Time magazine named our good friend Olivia Rodrigo the 2021 Entertainer of the Year. Now, for all the Olivia Rodrigo fans out there, Time magazine is for... It's for people who got their driver's license 50 years ago.
Oh, that's also for people who are really, really into mom jeans. Now, everybody, even the news media, is getting the vaccine, especially Fox News, and one specific network.
Companies have resumed having office Christmas parties, including the right-wing network Newsmax. And this is good. Employees going to the Newsmax holiday party in New York must show proof of vaccination. After all the anti-vaccination, Merry Hypocristmas, everybody. Meanwhile...
Well, did Jimmy Kimmel just say right-wing nut? Yeah, I guess the nuts have been putting on the Newsmax's head. You know, I guess they're just hiding it from all of their Newsmax fans. Now let's get real serious, folks. Now, there was a tornado that happened throughout 6 states, mainly the state of Kentucky. Now, yesterday's Saturday edition of World News Tonight, anchor Whit Johnson interviewed the mayor of Mayfield, Kentucky, and here is that interview.
Joining us now is Kathy Stewart Onan, the mayor of Mayfield, Kentucky. As you saw there, one of the communities hit the hardest by these deadly tornadoes. Mayor, thank you so much for your time this evening. I know you are incredibly busy and going through a lot, but we've seen these images, buildings flattened, debris for miles. You're out there on the ground. You're talking to the grieving families impacted by this. How would you characterize the devastation in your town right now?
It is utter and total for the most part. We spent the night in the city hall, the fire station are across the parking lot from each other. And of course we had no power, we had no water. And so when the sun started coming up this morning, it was like matchsticks. Our whole town looks just like matchsticks lying around.
And sadly, we are seeing some of these images on the screen right there, those matchsticks you described. Mm-hmm. There are also a lot of questions, Mayor, about that candle factory. At this hour, dozens are unaccounted for. There are reports that they were sheltering in place. What do you know about why they were there working through this storm, and what kind of warnings went out to the community?
I can tell you only what I've heard about them, of why they were there working. Those candles are sold internationally. That is one of our largest employers in the community. It is a local began company. We're very proud of that company. And what I've heard is that they were there because of the holidays to have more candles to put out for the holidays. The warnings, I don't know what they were given specifically at the factory, but I do know that just personally, we had 45 minutes to an hour to watch from our local TV station in Paducah, Kentucky, to know what was headed our way.
Yeah, and just, again, looking at the pictures there, it's one thing to shelter in place, but when the tornadoes are completely destroying buildings, there is so much, only so much that you can do. I also want to ask, President Biden has pledged his full support to the states impacted by this. What kind of help are you already getting, and what does your community still need right now?
Well, we have gotten the most amazing help from all over the Commonwealth. We are far western Kentucky. Earlier today, the governor and I and our judge executive were at the candle factory. He pledged there that there would be a monetary fund set up. I would think that in the long run, money's going to be what we need. Prayers are what we need right now. We have had the most extraordinary help for our first responders who are working gloriously and heroically in every capacity. We are being aided by first responders from as far away as Louisville, Kentucky, and we are getting people to come in and spell our guys so that they can get some rest because they've been working nonstop. Nobody here has slept since about 9 o'clock last night.
Wow, that really took a lot of minds out of people, but it is really, really important to help some of the cities in Kentucky that are struck by tornado. But I gotta ask, how has a tornado invaded in the month of December? That has rarely ever happened. Normally we would see tornadoes in the month of May during the spring season, but this time of year, I don't know how the hell did that ever been a thing in the month of December. That is strange. But during Sunday's MSNBC telecast, the Kentucky governor has addressed the entire state of Kentucky of what happened during the span of this week.
This is Kentucky's most devastating tornado event in our history. We have lost far too many of our brothers and sisters. The damage is devastating. Entire blocks, more than one block, with nothing standing. To the people of America, there is no lens big enough to show you the extent of the damage here in Graves County or in Kentucky. Nothing that was standing in the direct line of this tornado is still standing. We currently have 18 counties with damage. As of this morning, we had between 36 and 50,000 Kentuckians without power, but I will say that is improving. Mayfield, where we are today, Dawson Springs, my dad's hometown, and Bremen were hit hard. Bowling Green sustained significant damage. I believe this will ultimately be the longest tornado in certainly U.S. history from the point where it touched down to when it finally picked back up. Over 220 miles, 200 of them are in my state with our people that have suffered from it. It was joined by at least 3 other tornadoes here in Kentucky. I think we now believe maybe many, many more. I've been living this in real time since midnight yesterday. But while I was at the state's Emergency Operations Center receiving reports in real time, Western Kentucky and its people were at ground zero. So 40 hours in, here's where I think we are. First, we're grateful. We are grateful to our first responders who were there all through the evening out in the storm itself, showing incredible heroism, and they are still at work. We're grateful for all the help that we've received from other cities and other states, help from the federal government that has come in so many different forms. We're grateful for the outpouring of love. It's the best way I can describe it. From all over the country and from all walks of life, I want to thank everybody for standing with the people of Kentucky. We feel it. In fact, one of our biggest challenges right now is organizing the amount of people that want to help, want to donate, and want to volunteer. But you know what? That's the best challenge that any of us could ask for. So we declared our state of emergency in advance of midnight before the storm hit. That's a state of emergency. We've now been granted the immediate federal state of emergency. It is rare. It was granted incredibly quickly, and we are grateful to Homeland Security, to FEMA, and to President Biden himself. The National Guard has been deployed. We have over 300 guardsmen that are active. They are out in our communities. They're doing everything from going door to door, though in many of these communities we don't have doors anymore. They're going rubble to rubble, searching hopefully for survivors, but otherwise to at least have certainty for families that we can advise them of their loss. They're doing debris removal, and they're also helping out in law enforcement capacity where needed. Our transportation cabinet has been out, hundreds of Kentucky workers and every large truck we can find. And let me tell you, today in Mayfield, we've even started moving debris out. And when you think 40 hours in, that is a testament to the people and the workers here and also the workers at that cabinet.
Well, that was the Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear addressing the state of Kentucky of what happened during that tornado. Now, I will have more of it during this week's edition of Random Stuff for Saturday and Sunday, but until then, I'll see you guys soon, and don't be a jerk.